Unmute. Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone. Okay. So we'll just jump in and get started. It's 5:59 officially. And we're going to start with a seated breathing practice. So if you do have a block, it'll be helpful to sit up on that. And if you don't have blocks, you can always pull in a pillow or a blanket that you can just sit up and elevate yourself a little bit on. Then we're going to share computers. Okay. So sitting up nice and tall. We're going to do alternate nostril breathing, which is also known as Nadi Shodhana. And Nadis are the two energy lines that run up and down the side of your spine. So you can think of your spine as really your lifeline, and this is the left and the right channel. So bringing and distributing energy all down your body. So sitting up nice and tall, this breathing practice helps to balance the left and the right side of the brain and kind of bring your two halves, and maybe today it feels very disparate, many parts, all back into center. So to do this, you're going to use one hand and you're going to raise up your right hand and then draw down your middle finger and pointer finger. So you're going to be using ring finger and thumb to do this practice. And you'll bring it up right in front of your face. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale. Now using your ring finger, gently close off one nostril. And then inhale through just the right nostril, filling up completely. Let it be slow and steady. Then pausing when you get to the top, using your ring finger and thumb, you're just compressing both nostrils gently in towards the middle. Then let go of the ring finger and exhale out of just the other nostril. Let that breath empty out completely. You'll feel your navel slightly draw in at the bottom. So keep sitting up nice and tall. And then keeping your ring finger lifted, inhale slowly through the left nostril. Feel your chest open and expand. And really that lung on the left side. And then when you come to full, gently compress both nostrils, hold. Don't squeeze too hard, it's just a gentle compression. Release the thumb and exhale through your right nostril. Pause when you get to empty. Just feel that moment at the bottom where there's no air in your lungs, and then begin to slowly breathe in, filling the bottom, middle, and then top of the lungs. Once you get to full, gently close both nostrils. Hold. Release the ring finger and exhale. All right. Continuing to do this, bouncing your breath from one nostril to the other. Maybe pausing a little bit longer at the top when you're compressing both nostrils, and at the bottom when you're empty. Then trying to match the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale. So I'll let you just slowly count off to yourself how long naturally your breath was, and then trying to add 1 to 2 counts and making sure that, again, the inhale and the exhale match. And so tonight's class, I want to bring in the idea that is really the focus of non-dual tantric yoga teachings. And so my most recent training really focused a lot on tantric yoga. And I think the most important part of non-dual tantra, so non-dual meaning not opposites, is that everything is connected. Everything is one and the same, God, if that's what you want to call it, or the same spirit. There are lines of energy that connect us all. And so all of the work that we do in yoga or in any kind of spiritual exploration is not so much to add layers, right? To complete this entity that is ourself, but instead it really is to strip away all of these constructs that we've placed upon ourselves, separating us from others. And it's the idea that you are already whole. You are already complete as you are sitting on your mat right now. And as I, comprehend and try and pull apart these practices and the readings, the piece that sticks with me the most is the idea that you are good enough. You are complete and whole as you are, right? You don't need to add more. You don't need to continue to pile on stress and, all of these things. If I attain this, then I will be something. Instead, as you are right now. So starting to strip away some of those, again, preconceptions and blinders, really, to connect into yourself, into this moment, to connect with others, and to connect with nature, I think most importantly. Slowly move your hand down after your next exhale. And then inhale fully through both nostrils. You can even move your hands to your ribs. Feel an equal expansion to left and right side. Pause on full. And then slowly exhale. Feel your chest drop just slightly. Do that one more time, sitting up here on this block or blanket. Inhale. Feel your ribs expand. Feel yourself now using both channels equally. And exhale. Feeling a sense of relief coming as you are into this space. And then slowly roll forward. Move any props you have off to the side. And we'll come to sit down on our glutes. Pull back both of your glutes so that you can feel your hip points root down. And if you prefer to keep the use of a blanket or a pillow underneath your hips, you can feel free to do that. We're going to move into Agni Sambasana, so a hip opening pose. You're going to take your right leg, bring it across, flex, and then take the left leg over top. So you want the bony part on the outside of your ankle to come to the inside of your knee, and the bottom of your foot essentially falls off to the side. As this knee starts to come down, the top knee, it's actually going to stack on top of the inside of your bottom foot. And so Agni Sambasana can be a pose that when you first get into it, it looks nothing like stacked logs on a fire. So fire log pose is another name for this posture. You might have your legs up really high and you actually have to lean back. And if this is too uncomfortable, then you can always extend your bottom foot out, making a figure 4 position. So with both legs stacked in some formation, left leg on top. Again, you want to make sure that your glute points are sitting down into the mat. Press both hands down into the mat and try and lift your spine really tall. Keep your feet flexed so that your knees are protected. Take an inhale and then exhale, hinge forward just slightly. This is going to intensify the sensation of the pose. Maybe close your eyes and accept where your body is right now in this position. So you're not forcing it any deeper. And if you're taking a variation, you know that that's okay and that you're using that to feel just the same sensation as everyone else. It's just where you are. Finding acceptance for that. Inhale, slowly come back up. You're going to take your hand that is on the same side as the leg that's on top, and you're going to press it palm down, finger in towards your spine. So you're sitting on that hand, fingers in. Inhale, reach the opposite hand up, and then exhale, take a side body stretch. Let your ear fall down towards your shoulder. And then use that bottom hip to ground down. You want your pinky to be forward, thumb back. So you're actually externally rotating your arm and keeping a lot of engagement all in the area of your armpit as you take this deep side stretch. Inhale and exhale. Now you're really feeling that Nadi line on the right side. The right side is extending and getting longer. Inhale, slowly bring yourself back up. Bring that hand all the way down. And once it comes down, release the hand that was compressed underneath your glutes. Extend both legs forward. Give them a little shake out side to side. And then we'll move on to the opposite side. So bringing your left leg in on the bottom, flexing those toes. You want your shin to be parallel to the front or the side of your mat, whichever direction you're facing. And then bring the right leg up and over top. Woo, the side's tight. If you do anything that's asymmetrical, like maybe playing soccer where you have a leg that's kicking, or you notice that you favor one side, I have a standing desk and I always lock out one leg. So if you do anything like that or have any of those kind of tendencies, you'll notice a big difference from side to side with hips. I don't know what I do to this leg, but it's tight. So flex your toes back. And again, you can take that same variation where you maybe extend the bottom leg and then have a figure four with that right leg. Make sure that it's not right on the kneecap if you're doing this. Instead, it's just a little bit higher. Otherwise, this bony part on the outside of your ankle against your kneecap is not going to feel very pleasant. Sitting here, again, maybe scoop the muscles of your glutes back so you feel both of those hip points pushing down into the mat. Sit up nice and tall. So Agni Sambasana, fire log pose. The fire part is this slow sensation that starts to build when we get into this pose on the outside of our hips. So again, your legs may be very high, big space between knee and ankle and knee and the floor. But you'll notice over time, especially if you start to maybe even voluntarily go into this pose when you're sitting doing other fun things, that eventually your knees will come down a little bit closer. Keep those toes flexed back. Bring your hands to your side. Press your finger pads into the mat. Take an inhale. And then exhale, fold. Eyes to close. Again, trying to remove any barriers that you put up between mind and physical body, your environment around you. Instead, Start to feel, maybe even through your fingertips as they press into the mat, this connection. You notice the texture of what is underneath you. Inhale, come up. Taking the right hand, slip it underneath your right glute, fingertips towards the tailbone, so towards the middle. Inhale your left arm up, and then exhale overhead. And this elbow of the arm that is tucked underneath you can even come all the way down. Try to stay in a plane, so you're not rocking back or forward, but really focusing on opening your side body. Pinky forward, thumb back, so that is externally rotating your hand. And it helps to keep some muscle integrity all around your shoulder, which is a very open joint, right? There's not a lot keeping your arm connected to your body. It's a very shallow joint. Inhale, exhale, maybe stretch a little bit deeper overhead. So even if you have the extended leg variation, you can still do that tucked arm and feel that side body stretch. Inhale, come back up. Release the palm, stretch both arms up. And then exhale, hands down. Extend both legs forward, give them a nice little wiggle, shake that out. And then tuck your legs in, bring them down and come into all fours. Knees underneath your hips, arms underneath your shoulders. You wiggle a little bit from side to side. Rolling in circles or whatever feels good to stretch out your spine a little bit. And we'll get back into some side body focusing. So I think a lot of times in yoga classes, we focus on just one thing, or the mind and the body, or the mind and the body and the breath. And we start to break it down because trying to focus on connection can be overwhelming. So instead, just notice where maybe a posture you start to feel beyond the limits of your body. So think about the side body as expanding out in this area where we don't really focus a lot. We focus a lot on our energy coming out through our feet, our energy coming out through our palms, and our energy coming out through the crown of your head. But really, your entire skin can be a place that radiates energy. All right. So back into all fours, start to center yourself. Extend your right leg back and just go forward and back. Stretching into that calf. All right, and then rock forward, lift your right leg up, and then bring it to the outside of your left foot. So it's all the way off the mat to the left side. Start to gaze over your left shoulder. See if you can see your foot over your left shoulder, and then press more into that right hand. Start to shift your hips a little bit over to the right side of the mat. Maybe even drop your chin down towards your left shoulder. Take an inhale and exhale. Keep that right leg super straight, super strong as you press back through your heel. One more deep breath in, feeling the right rib inflate and out. And inhale, lift the right leg up and bring it back in, knee underneath your hip. Inhale, extend your left leg wide, or long rather. Push slightly forward and back on your mat. Stretching your calf, stretching the bottom of your foot out. And then keeping that left leg super strong and straight, lift it up, inhale. Exhale, bring it over to the right side of the mat. Press firmly into your left hand. Move your gaze back so that you can see that left foot off the mat. You can let your chin drop down to your chest. Again, push more through the left hand to open up the left side ribs. Take a deep inhale. and exhale. And then staying here for a couple of breaths. Glad you like the music choice. And breathe in and out. And then keeping that left leg super strong, lift it up. And then bend your knee, bring it back in. Inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, tuck your toes and lift up into a shortened downward facing dog. Press your palms into the mat to lift your hips high. Relax your head and then exhale. See if your heels can drop down. All right, so here in your down dog, this is an inversion, right? Even if it's not a fancy inversion of with an arm balance thrown in to boot, you still have your heart upside down. And the weight of your head is no longer compressing your body, but instead it's helping you lengthen your spine. Press down more to your hands, lengthen your side bodies, walk your hips up high as though you were climbing the rungs of the ladder. And then exhale, see if you can relax your muscles, find some efficiency in holding this pose. Do that one more time. Inhale, walk your hips up like they're walking up a ladder. High, high, high. Maybe even lift your heels, and then exhale, heels drop down. Gaze at your feet, walk them in just a little bit. And then you're going to press more into the left hand and tent the right fingertips up. So the palm is up, finger pads are pressing down into the mat. With your feet a little bit closer in, you might be able to get your full foot on the ground. You're going to take that right hand, maybe start to hover it off of the mat. And if you hover and feel safe and feel balanced, you can start to reach back and move your hand to the outside of the left leg. Once you get a hold, start to pull through, moving your gaze underneath your left shoulder. Using that connection of hand into your leg to pull yourself through. As you take a deep inhale, really feel the shoulder blade on the right side expand and open. And exhale. Slowly replace the right hand. Palm down. This becomes now the platform. And pull the left palm up. Finger pads reaching down into the mat. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Start to maybe hover. Find your balance. So I want you to be asymmetrical. So try not to move the right hand into the middle of your mat, but instead challenge yourself to re-find your balance when things are not perfect down the center line. When your nadis are maybe a little bit off, the right side now becomes challenged. Left palm up, reach through, grab the right calf or ankle or maybe even knee. Inhale, exhale, pull through, move your gaze underneath your right armpit. Keep pressing your right hand into the mat. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. One more time, inhale, exhale. And then inhale, slowly release. Replace the left hand. From here, inhale, rock forward. Maybe step your feet back if you were walked in pretty far. Take a breath in. And then exhale, drop both heels to the left side. Keep pressing as equally as you can through both hands. And if your hips started to hike up and back, draw them forward so you challenge yourself to stay down in your plank pose. Inhale, lift both heels into center. And then exhale over to the right side. Pause, hold here for a full breath cycle. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, center. And then exhale, over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, bring your knees down to the mat. You want to keep your knees and your hips stacked. Walk your hands forward. Stretch out nice and long. Bring your forehead down to the mat for Anahata Asana. So this is called heart melting pose. So as you stretch yourself out long and you keep your hips high, like they're still walking up a ladder, right? Getting as high as they can. Forehead down, elbows are lifted. Melt your heart down. Take an inhale. Exhale. Can your heart on the front get a little bit bigger as it pulls down towards the mat? One more time. Inhale. Keep stretching your fingertips as far away as from your hips as you can. Exhale. Melt. And inhale. Lift yourself up. Keep your toes tucked. Come forward. Lift your knees off the mat and then drop your hips down for a tuck-toed up dog. Hard to see in this light, but my knees are lifted off of the mat. Whew. We have a ton of smoke here in Denver today. It's really crazy. So it feels like very dark outside. Hopefully this gives a little bit more light on the situation. Inhale, lift your hips up. And then exhale, slowly walk your feet to the front of your mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Now here in our forward fold, we're getting into our hamstrings. So your feet can be wider than hip width distance apart if it feels good. Bend your knees generously so that you're nice to your hamstrings and you let your ribs rest down on your thighs. Finally, again, the head is now no longer a weight on the body, but a weight elongating the body. Grab opposite elbows, hang a little bit from side to side. Let your torso get long. And then start to exaggerate this side to side movement, pressing and bending into the knees so it also starts to feel like a side body movement. So as you move from one side to the other, one side body gets a little bit longer. Then keeping your hands on your elbow creases, come back to middle, and then rolling over to the right side. Inhale, come all the way up, and then exhale down to the left. Inhale up. So you're using the opposite elbow to really reach, elongate through the side body, and exhale down. Last time, inhale. So leading with that left elbow, coming up the right side, and then down the left side, leading with the right elbow. Come to middle, hang. Take a breath here. And out. And move in the opposite direction, leading with your right elbow. Inhale, come up the left side. And exhale down the right. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more time through. Inhale up. And exhale down. Come to hang. Release your hands down. Inhale, press into your shins. Lift your heart up. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, lift up halfway. So I was taking a class and I heard this as cute as float your heart. And I was like, that's cute. I'm going to use that. Float your heart up. Exhale, fold. And inhale, come all the way up, arms up overhead, stretch. And this is where you can really feel the energy as you press your feet down and as you reach your fingertips up, nice and long. Then arms come wide and fold all the way back in two. As your hands come down, step your left foot back and bring your left knee down. Press the top of your left foot down. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Track your right knee forward. Open up your left psoas. And then we did these last week a couple times. So we're going to move right into them. With your right hand, grab your left wrist and stretch up overhead. So from front view. This will also help really get the side body stretch from that grounded knee up across your hip flexor and then out the side. Nice. Use your core to stabilize you here, especially because bottom half of the body is moving forward and back. Top half of the body is bisecting that movement. And then exhale, bring both hands down. Frame your front foot, tuck your back toe, step forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, float your heart, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach as tall as you can. Feet down, arms up. And then split your arms wide, come all the way back into your fold. Step your right foot back. Bring your right knee down to the mat. Press the top of your right foot down. Inhale, stretch both of your arms up. Exhale, draw your left knee forward. Engage your core, gaze up to your hands. Take your right wrist, inhale, elevate. Exhale, overhead to the left. So really feel that pull. You want to not let this hand that's getting pulled over be just loosey-goosey. Instead, keep it integrated, keep it strong as you pull it overhead. So it's like a tug of war. The left arm is pulling, the right shoulder is integrating and staying very engaged around your shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Come back down, tuck your back toes, step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Heart floats. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up wide. And exhale, split the arms down, come to fold. Step your left leg back, left knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, draw your lunge a little bit deeper. Inhale, lift your gaze to your fingers. Exhale, take the left wrist, reach it overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly bring both hands down. Tuck the back toes. Step forward. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up wide. Fingertips touch. Exhale, part, open out wide and fold. Right leg steps back. Right knee comes down. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, deepen your lunge. Inhale, lift your gaze. Grab the right wrist. Exhale, stretch up and overhead. Try and also keep your pelvis here square so that you're not lifting one side or the other. And you'll feel this in your very bottom of your spine at your sacrum, your iliosyncratic joint. Start to reach your hands forward and then plant both hands down. Tuck your back toes. Step forward. Uttanasana. We're going to switch it up a little bit. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach both arms up. Press through your feet. Lift through your hands. Fingertips tap and then part them again wide. Exhale, fold. Inhale again, float your heart, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into a nice long plank pose. Take an inhale, rock forward. And then exhale, drop both heels to the left. Press your left hand into the mat. Hover your right fingertips Or start to play with lifting your right arm up, moving into a side plank, Vashisthasana. All right, stay here, or you can take that right leg and place it on top of the left. Press through the left hand so you can get that right hip a little bit higher up towards the ceiling. Inhale, if your right arm is lifted, stretch it up overhead and bring it down. Roll both heels back into center. Inhale, exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Press the tops of your feet down. Hands under your shoulders. Inhale, pull up and through. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Keep your hips rooted down into the mat. Pull your chest forward. Breathe in. I am enough. And exhale, lower. Tuck your toes. Inhale, press up, plank, and then back into downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Hips high, high, high. Exhale, heels down, head releases. Inhale. Through your nose, feel your hip points lift. Exhale, feel the energy slide down the back of your legs. Last time, breath in. Exhale all of the air out. Bend your knees. Step, step, or take a little hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, float your heart up. Exhale, fold. Arms wide, and then inhale all the way up. Fingertips touch. Exhale, down. Inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into a plank. Make sure you have a nice long plank. Draw your chest forward so your shoulders and your wrists do stack. And then drop both heels to the right side. Make sure your right palm is spread and that it is directly underneath your right shoulder. And then start by pulling the left palm up. Work on pressing more into that right hand, pivoting your hips, bringing the left arm up. Stay here or stack your feet. Press through that right palm to lift your left hip higher. Take 2 breaths. Inhale and exhale. And inhale. Arm comes up overhead. Exhale, come down into plank pose. Breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Press the top of your feet down. Inhale, rise up. Bhujangasana Cobra. Pull your heart open through your arms. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, see if you can let something go. Let down one of those walls. Inhale. Exhale. Can you be more vulnerable somewhere? Allowing yourself to feel that connection outside of the lengths of your body. Slowly release down, tuck your toes. Inhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. All right, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Relax your neck, stretch your side bodies long. You can pedal your feet a little bit from side to side. One more deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, we're gonna pull forward again into plank. Bring our knees down to the mat. Keep our toes tucked, and again, move into Anahata Asana, heart melting pose. Walk your fingers forward. Keep your hips pinned in space so they're directly over your knees. And if you think you can go a little bit deeper, so first option is forehead down, elbows lifted, arms long. If you think you can go a little bit deeper, maybe to feel a stretch in your chest, move your gaze to your thumbs and see if you can melt chest and chin down at the same time. In this variation, your elbows will come down to the mat. So it's It's a much bigger pose, actually, in your thoracic spine, your upper spine. So either variation, whichever one allows your heart to melt deeper down towards the mat in a way that is sustainable, in a way that meets your body where it is today. And then inhale, slowly come up. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. All right, back into all fours. We're going to extend our right leg back behind us. Then bring your right knee to your side. This is sometimes called dog on a fire hydrant. And then back down. Keep that hip slightly lifted so your right knee is hovering. Press back. And then to the side. And then down. So making circles with that right leg. Inhale it back. Exhale it to the side. And down. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Come in. Hold. Extend that right leg. And then you're going to bring it down to the mat. So I'm going to mirror you. Right leg is down and it's probably off of your mat. You want to press that full foot down into the mat. Inhale, slowly come up, gate opener pose. So I think we also did this the other week, getting at it from a different spot, different pose. Inhale, bring both of your arms up. And then exhale, extend your right arm over your right leg. Again, find that nice full body stretch. Hold here, let your ear drop to your shoulder. Keep pressing down and grounding through that left knee. And as you reach your fingertips overhead, again, pull back. So you're lifting, but then you're engaging around your shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, start to drop forward. Bring both hands down to the mat, and then walk yourself forward on the mat. Bring your forearms down. I like to interlace my hands here and then drop your chin down. Walk your body long so that your hips are still over that knee and then pull back. One more time, maybe inhale, walk your elbows forward, exhale, pull back. Keep that extended foot grounded down into the mat and feel a nice stretch. Take one more deep breath in and deep breath out. Walk your hands underneath your shoulder. And then you're going to walk your hands towards that extended foot. All right, starting to feel back into that side body, all the way along the left side. All right. Maybe your hands make it to your foot. If they do, start to grip onto your foot. If they don't make it to your foot, grip your finger pads into the mat, and then see if you could pull your hips away. And slowly release. Walk your hands back forward. And then bring your right knee in. Place it back down. Do some hip circles here, side to side, rolling out. One direction and then the opposite. All right. Inhale, press your left leg back. Make sure your spine is nice and straight here. You're using your core so you're not dipping your chest or compressing in your low back. On your next exhale, bring your left knee to the left side. Try and keep your left leg hovered so that the inside of your knee is parallel with the ground. And then bring it down. Knee stays hovering. Inhale, press it back, toe is flexed. Exhale, out to the side, dog peeing on a fire hydrant. Mine prefers long grasses. And then left knee down. Inhale, press back. Make it a little bit more fluid. Exhale. So it's a movement that never really stops. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, left leg to the left side. Hold. Extend that left foot. Woo! And then bring it down to the mat. Press that left foot fully down into the mat. And then inhale, walk yourself up, gate opener pose. Nice. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, let your right hand or left hand come down, left extended leg. The gate opener pose. Now that back foot, some people might prefer that foot to be flat, pressing down into the mat, and some people feel more stability with your toes tucked. So just play with whatever feels good for you tonight, whatever helps you feel more stable. Reach your right fingertips overhead. Stretch into that side body. More inhale, let your neck release. And exhale, bring both hands down. So they come back forward and then bring your elbows down to the mat. Inhale, and then exhale, stretch back. So you're getting all the way along the inside of your leg, down to the inside of your heel here in this stretch. It's very similar to Skandasana, that ninja transition to the front and the back of your mat, but in a much more controlled way. Like you can hold this a little bit longer. You can gently press back and find any areas of tightness. And then slowly press into your hands. So their palms are pressing down into the mat, and then start to walk your hands over to your extended foot. So maybe you can get all the way to that foot, and if not, then just grip your hands down into the mat or into the floor. And without letting your hands move, like you had super glue pads, pull away. And if you have your foot, reaching for the outside of that foot and then pulling away. So you stretch all the way along the outside of the right side body, and you feel it triggering, stretching all the way from your pinky up across the outside of your shoulder, down your side body, really all the way into the hip and into your grounded knee. Take another deep breath in and out. Slowly release. Bring your hands back forward. Bring that leg back in on the left side, all fours. Tuck your toes. Inhale, plank. Bend your knees. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step your left foot forward, coming into a nice long lunge. From here, lower your right knee down and the top of your right foot down. Inhale, rise up, Asana. And then exhale, place your hands down. Tuck your back toes under, lift that right knee. And then you're going to drop to the outside of the right foot, and you're going to spin those front toes over to the left side of the mat. As you spin your toes to the left side of the mat, you heel toe it back slightly. So now it's not really at the front of my mat, but instead it's about a foot distance from where my hands were. Keep your right hand down into the mat and drop your right hip down. Let this right shoulder shrug up to your ear. You can take your left hand and bring it to the outside of your left knee. Gently draw it in and keep your right extended leg very strong, foot flexed. Lounge lunge. So you're like one of those canvas swing back lounge chairs hanging out on a beach somewhere. Lots of work to stay in this lounge lunge. Lots of stretching into that right side body. Pull that left knee in maybe closer so that your forehead meets. You can either stay there, or if you'd like a little bit of movement, extend your left hand to your right foot. Inhale, press into the right arm, press into the left foot, reach your arm overhead. It's like a modified Virasana. And then exhale, come back down. Reach your hand towards your extended foot. Inhale, arc up. Press a lot into that left leg. Let it help you here. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Twist, plant your left hand, step back, plank, press back, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet side to side. And then start to slow down your movement. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Come into a nice long lunge, pull your chest through. Lower your left knee down and press the top of that foot down. Inhale, sweep both of your arms up. Anahata, low lunge. Exhale, plant both hands down. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. And then you're going to pivot, coming to the outside edge of that left foot and right toes out to the right side of the mat. Then heel toe that foot back. Start to drop the left hip down. Let the left shoulder come up towards your left ear and bring your right hand to the outside of your right leg. So this can be a lot in the wrist too. And if you need to, you can always come down to forearm. I should have said that on the other side. It's not quite as dramatic of a side body stretch, but blocks can always come in to elevate that elbow. You can also move that hand a little bit more forward so you don't have such a crease at your wrist. And then breathe here into your side body. See if you can feel that tightness, maybe around your hip points start to dissolve. Maybe pull that right knee in a little bit closer, letting your chin drop down towards your chest and your forehead towards your knee. Keep the left extended leg strong, foot flexed. And if you'd like to introduce some movement, release your right arm, press it, reach it back rather towards your left foot. And then inhale, it's hard to get up from that. Reach it up overhead. Exhale, drop your hips back down, stretch back towards your extended leg. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. And plant your hands. Step your right leg back. Plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from here, inhale, rock forward. Exhale, slowly lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Hands still under your shoulders, press up. Move your left arm a little bit forward. Take your right arm and slip it through. Set your right shoulder down. Bring your left knee up so that it's about hip level, and then stretch your left arm up, open up into a supine twist. But really we're entering it from our tummy, so prone twist rather. Right leg is long, left knee is up by the side, and both arms are teed out. The right shoulder is grounded, but the left shoulder is most likely still elevated. Take an inhale and exhale. Getting a nice deep twist after all the side body work. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach your left arm up, bring it back down, straighten your left leg, press your left palm into the mat to pull your right arm through, and then press your right hand down. Enough to lift the right elbow. Fish the left arm underneath, set the left shoulder down. Pull your right knee up, set your head down, inhale, right arm lifts, and then exhale, open. Inhale and exhale. Let the twist just naturally get a little bit deeper with gravity. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale, put your right arm up. Exhale, bring it down. Straighten your right leg. Slowly press up. Stack both palms down in front of you and let your forehead rest down. Open your feet out wide. Taking a prone Shavasana here, letting our belly rest. Letting your head rest. Letting your hips start to melt down into the mat. Starting to let the boundary where your body ends and the mat or floor begin to blur. Imagining your body like a pool of water starting to spread out wide and dissolve. And slowly lift the weight of your head up off of your palms. Pull your hands back under your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Inhale. Press yourself up to all fours and then back into a gentle child's pose. You can open your knees out wider. That feels good. Let your forehead rest down. Take 3 deep breaths here in your child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. This time, breath in and out. And walk your hands back so your hips stay over your heels. Bring your knees in for Virasana, Thunderbolt pose. Sitting up nice and tall. This is not comfortable, you can always come into Sukhasana or place a pillow between your heels and your glutes. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, reach your arms out wide so you could touch everything around you. So all the particles, palms together, and then exhale, let your hands drop down to your sternum. Let them drop through. One more time. Inhale, pulling all that energy, wiggle your fingers, palms together to touch, and then exhale, hands together to heart center. Take a deep breath in. Lift your thumbs to your third eye center. Be curious and follow your bliss. Namaste.